BC. What's up, guys? I'm back on here after a 4 or 5 months hiatus, man. I've been busy, been working and stuff. But man, I saw these pop up the other day on YouTube, and I definitely want to do a part of that one, man. I told Chris I was gonna do one, but yeah, Jazz Vinyl Tag 2022 Tunes Tag, and that was done by Chris Tunes from the Man Cave. That's the dude, man. Chris is my guy, man. Great collector of all like the original pressings. He's definitely a original pressing seeker, man. Me too, man. I love the originals. I like some of the reissues too. But yeah, I'm gonna jump on here and do the 22 questions that he put up. And I watched a couple of the videos, and man, there's been some great ones. So a lot of new guys too, which is showing some amazing collections, man. Amazing. So I'm gonna start off your favorite jazz find 2021. Where's Ron Carter? Classic. 1962. Mal Waldron, Eric Dolphy on the New Jazz. The Pinnacle. That guy, this is his debut album, Ron Carter. Still doing it to this day. Still selling out those shows. And one of the greatest bass players to ever play. One of the man, you're talking about tops. Played on so many great records. 2000, man, and that guy's still going. I be seeing stuff with him with the bass, the bass kit. He have his bass gear going. He's always going to a show performing. Big up, Ron Carter. Number 2, your favorite reissue of 2021, Katanga. Classic. Curtis Amy, Dupree Bolton, Jack Wilson, and then Ray Crawford. And don't forget the track, man. My track Curtis Amy wrote, that always floors me. Native Land. Melodic. Sense of spiritual, just killerness, man. Smoking. Tone Poet. Big up to that Tone Poet, man. Them boys did a good job. I am looking for an original too. Spectacular record. Favorite new jazz of 2021. Spiritual meets classical movement. Pharoah Sanders, Floating Points. And London Symphony Orchestra. Man, you talking about that's a smoker, man. This album is cold. 2 tracks. Well, actually 1 track. And it's Promises, movements 1 through 5, and then side B 6 through 9. Man, this is an amazing feat, man. Man, for them to hook up with Pharoah, this is like a match made in heaven. This shows everything can be possible with the classical and the jazz meeting. Oh yeah, classical. Yeah, classic stuff. Okay. Saxophone-led session. Saxophone-led session. My number 1 from 2020. Yes, during the pandemic, I was able to cop one of the greatest saxophone-led albums with Coltrane's backing band. Juju, Wayne Shorter, original, mono. Yeah, I got this right before Christmas. You talking about a great Christmas present to me, man. Yeah. Juju, Deluge, House of Jade. And then my favorite on here is Yes No. Yes No is melodic, modal. Wayne's one of the last greats, him and Sonny, man. One of the last great jazz. I call them the Jazz Kings, man, because they got to play with the greats. So, trumpet-led session. Kenny Dorham. Trumpeta, Toccata. Yep. Night Watch. Trumpeta, Toccata. The Fox. The Fox is one of my favorites. Mamacita. And this one features Richard Davis, Joe Henderson, Albert Heath, Tommy Flanagan. He always liked to use Tommy Flanagan with a couple of his albums. Matador, I believe, was the other one. But yeah, masterpiece, man. Kenny Dorham, trumpet led session. Guitar led session. We're gonna move up to the 70s, mid 70s, 76. Pat Metheny's debut album, Brighter Side's Life, featuring Jaco Pastorius and Bob Moses. Key track, man, on here is Midwest Night Dream. And then his tribute to Ornette Coleman, Road Trip, Broadway Blues. The jazz, the guitar, and the fretless bass is so prominent on this record. It just makes you imagine when you hear this. Definitely one of the top ECM. This is my #1 ECM album, man. This was a great one, a must-have. Original German press on this one. Piano led session. Can't forget the man Monk. Killer. The original version of Monk's Dream is on here. This is a trio album that he recorded in 52 and 54. This was released, they compiled them too, and this was released first time as a full album in 57. This one has Blue Monk, Just a Gigolo, Bermuda Swing, Reflections. Yeah, and Monk's Dreams on the other side. Yeah, this is an original I picked up earlier this year. On the West 50th Street. Prestige, Deep Groove, beautiful, man. I love these Prestige records, man. Yes. Organ-led session. Drive, Lonnie Smith. Just picked this one up about a month ago. It's still in the shrink. Original Liberty. Saw this when I was digging in the western suburbs of Chicago, man. Wow, I saw this on the wall. I said, damn, I gotta have this. This is the one I've been looking for. And his cover of Spinning Wheel. The Spinning Wheel is one of the most important tracks on here because this is the track that Q-Tip used for Can I Kick It off of his first album, off the Tribe's first album. But yeah, this one has some great tunes on here. Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf is on here, cover. And then he does a 7 Steps of Heaven. You're talking about his band. His band's is killer. Joe Dukes. Then you got Larry McGee on guitar. Great guitar works. Guitar licks. Ronnie Cuber, baritone, and then tenor sax is Dave Hubbard. Yeah. Early 70s press. This is an original, 1970 original. This is an original Liberty. Drive. Lonnie Smith, organ led. Trombone led session. 1965's Some Other Stuff. Tough record to come by. I could have picked any one of his stuff. I could have went with this, New Africa. Oh man, he got some killer albums, man. Evolution. Gretchen Moncour, man, is the dude, man. The third. Straight modal avant-garde. This was that whole scene with the avant-garde. It was him, a lot of the players, him, Andrew Hill, and Sam Rivers all came about. This is when a lot of, and then Jackie McLean. This was a lot of free thinkers, man. Those guys, them. Cecil McBee was playing. Cecil's on this record. Tony Williams on the sticks. Yes. And Herbie on the keys. Herbie is so diverse. But yeah, this is one I picked up from a guy off of Instagram. Clean. Sounds beautiful. No pops. New York, USA. Your favorite jazz funk record. All right, my favorite jazz funk record is this one. Finally found the nice, beautiful copy. Grant Green, The Final Come Down. Straight, the title track. That's all you need from this record. If you want to hear Grant Green stretch out on guitar, he kicks in the effing door, man. Straight guitar licks. You definitely can, if you want to hear a taste of this album, on my Instagram page, it's Indestructible Lower Score Art. Go there on Instagram and you can preview this. I actually played it on my new setup. The title track, Smoking, Final Come Down. Jazz fusion record. Herbie, Mawadishi. And this one was 1971. Features Billy Hart, Buster Williams, Eddie Henderson, Bernie Maupin, and Julia Priester. White label. This one right here is a straight fusion masterpiece, man. Here. This is when he was stretching out, man. This is right before Headhunters. So this is like so he improvised. It's just outstanding, sensational. Herbie at his free thinking. Yep. An underappreciated record. I always pull this one, man. This one here, Billy Higgins, the great drummer, released this masterpiece in the 80s. This one is called Mr. Billy Higgins. Check this out. And this is on the label Reza label. I call it cheap heat, but you throw this on, this is straight moto post bop. Man, a classic, Mr. Billy Higgins. I know I was able to find this online. I believe you could find these for like 15, 20 bucks. But yeah, this was still one of my favorites. East Side Stomp is killer. And then he had a tribute to John Coltrane, Dance of the Clones is on here. And that's Billy Higgins. A live jazz album. I might have to go to the Miles era in the 60s. One of my favorites, man. Miles at Carnegie Hall. Man, it took me years to track down a nice 6-eye clean copy. This one features Hank Mobley. This is my 6-eye. Wynton Kelly, Paul Chambers, Jimmy Cobb. This was after Kind of Blue. But yeah, this is a beautiful stereo pressing. Crystal clear, man. I bought this one. I found this one like last year. Miles Davis at Carnegie Hall. Yep. A super group. This is what I would say is a super group. Illumination, Elvin Jones, Jimmy Garrison Sextet. This one has Sonny Simmons and Prince Lashes on here too. Smoking, man. Yeah. The one you need to check out from here is Oriental Flower. This was part of that collection that I had found, the Ron Carter that I showed for the first question. This one, the white label promo. I had a beat up original stereo that was noisy as hell. I found this copy. This is a keeper, clean as hell, on the white label promo Impulse. This one I would love to see as a reissue. Acoustic Sounds. I would love to see Acoustic Sounds do a reissue of this stuff, man. It's a lot of great jazz out there they haven't touched. Some of the stuff is just going over the basic reissues or basic albums, but stuff like this is far reaching. Another one I would love to see is the Elvin Jones, the Heavy Sounds. That would be a nice one too. The other one on Impulse, with him smoking on the cover, that's a killer too. A record by your favorite artist as a side man. Okay, I did a spotlight on this one. Which one is it? I did a spotlight on this one. Sonny Rollins. This is a smoker, man. Volume 2. This was the one I originally did the video for. Yeah, this is like a 1960s Liberty Press. About a month ago, I went into a shop, $19 for a second press. This is the 47 West 63rd. The original one will be the 60, it'll say 47, and it'll have the 23 on there at the end. But this is a second press. I found this one. The owner swore that the album was noisy. I looked at it and I was like, this record doesn't look bad. I got home and put it on the needle, and wow. But the sideman on here is Monk. And that's just so funny. Mysterioso. He's on here. It's just funny. My Monk is a sideman? Really? But yeah, this is a killer album, man. This is one of Sonny's best, man. This one, Nuke's Time, Volume 1 is great. The Bridge, I mean, yeah, this is a classic. So now I got 2 copies. I'm just addicted to this record, man. Clean, pretty good copies, man. An album more people should know about. We're going to fast forward to I want to say 1998. And you got this killer album here. And I just showed one of his albums, his debut album. This one right here, Like Minds. Well, it features Pat Metheny, but this is a Gary Burton album. And look at that killer group, man. It's Gary Burton. Chick Corea, rest in peace, Chick Corea. Pat Metheny, Roy Haynes, and Dave Holland. Yeah, this one's actually half-speed mastered by Stan Ricker. This wasn't released on vinyl until, I want to say 2000, the mid 2000s. I'm sorry, 2003. So this is killer, audiophile sounding. I found this at a record store. And it's funny, before they did this album, it was like a trial run with this one. This one came out in 1990. It was Roy Haynes, Pat Metheny, and Dave Holland. So years later, this one came out in 1990. So they decided to get back together with Gary Burton. And then you get Chick Corea in there. So this is like straight jazz, man. Melodic, experimental, man. This is some great stuff, though, yeah. Like Minds, Gary Burton. All right. An album of an artist that should have been bigger. Blue Mitchell, one of the underrated trumpet players out there, too. You know, along with Kenny Dorham, this guy is so underrated to me. This is a killer. This one, March on the Selma, this was a tribute to the March by Martin Luther King. It came out in '65. High Heel Sneakers. Check that out. You can check that out on YouTube. That's the Blue Mitchell, Down With It. And this one features Chick Corea again. This is a young Chick Corea's on this record. Junior Cook, Gene Taylor, and Aloysius Foster. And you know, he was a mainstay for Horace Silver in the 60s. But Down With It. High heel sneakers, Perception, and don't forget March on Selma. That's some straight killer stuff. And Bringing It Home to Me is a following record after that. That's another one you should check out too. He should be bigger though. Blue Mitchell's that joint, man. A vocal jazz record. My favorite period from Ella. This one is done by Analog Sparks, Ryan K. Smith. Love this record, man. I was so glad to finally found this one. I had hunted it down a couple of years ago. I'll say like a year ago or something like that. But it actually has all that Night and Day, her version of Night and Day and Riding High, like my favorite for the jazz vocals, man. And I Get a Kick Out of You. Yeah, this, oh man, I Love Paris. I Concentrate on You, her version of Still in the Night. Yeah, this is a smoking album, man. Great press. And if you're able to find the Analog Sparks, definitely pick it up. Audiophile quality. An album many people talk about. You love. Not many people talk about you love. Definitely this one. Oh yes. Contours. Love this record, man. This is my favorite Sam Rivers record. I have a stereo. This is my stereo original. I have a mono, and I also have the tone poet. They did a tone poet of it. But yeah, this is my favorite. Point of Many Returns, man. This is like. And Dance of the Triple Doll. This is killer, man. This is Sam Rivers, far reaching. He's part of that whole avant-garde movement, like when everybody like him, Gretchen Moncour and Jackie McLean and Andrew Hill, these guys can play, man. It's a killer lineup. Yep. And all the Freddie's always in there. Freddie, I love Freddie, man. Freddie is dope. Freddie's like, he's always on those classic albums. Herbie, the great Ron Carter. See, that's why I love Ron Carter. He's on here. Joe Chambers. Yeah. It's a masterpiece, man. A record you hope to find in 2022. This is the classic records version. I would love to find either an original mono. This one and Soul Station, I'm still after those, but I know they're really priceless now. Over 1,000. Yeah, because of the Tina Brooks and a young McCoy Tyner on there too. Clifford Jarvis and Sam Jones. A new release, a reissue you're looking forward to. Bill Evans 65. Yeah, that's one I'm definitely, that's the one I'm really, I want when they re-release it. I have the ORG version, but I definitely want to get the 65 Bill Evans. That's the one I'm waiting on. It's coming soon. I think it's gonna be another month when it comes out. And the last question: your house is on fire. Which one record you'll grab before you run out the house? Yes. Yeah. Goes all the way back to Train. This album is something about this album. Even though Crescent is my favorite, this one has a special place. When I started collecting records in the late 90s, early 2000s, when I really got serious, this was one of my first acquisitions. This is Coltrane, White Label Promo. Yeah. Out of This World is still one of my favorite pieces. And then it has the Soul Eyes that was written by Mal Waldron. But yeah, this is my copy, my original mono copy, White Label Promo of Coltrane. I like to thank Tunes from the Man Cave, man. And I like all these guys out there doing these jazz vinyl tags. Please do some more of those, man. I'm definitely going to be checking them out. There have been some great ones. And yeah, VC, man, it's good to be back, man, doing some videos. It's been a while. But yeah, I loved it, man. Peace.